Top 4 vitamins to prevent leg cramps in seniors. Strengthen your legs. Imagine you're fast asleep. Then out of nowhere, your calf locks up like a twisted rope. It's sharp, sudden, and for a moment, all you can do is shoot upright, freeze, and clutch your leg. Leg cramps are very common, especially in older adults, ranging from 46 to up to 77%. For many people over 50, this isn't about pain. It's about unpredictability and missing out in life. When your legs feel strong and steady, you say yes more often. Yes to helping your daughter move boxes. Yes to catching your grandson at the playground. Yes to walking beside your partner, not behind them. Yes to planting herbs in the yard and picking them yourself. You are a confident, independent, and active person. But when your legs tire faster or simply feel weak, you start hesitating, sitting out the walk, avoiding the stairs, or quietly thinking, maybe not today. It's easy to blame age. But often the cause is something simpler and more fixable. You might just be running low on a few key vitamins. And these aren't exotic. They're well-known, clinically studied, and easy to add into your daily life. In this video, we'll walk you through the top 4 science-backed vitamins that help prevent leg cramps and keep your muscles strong, your nerves steady, and your steps sure. Because this isn't about looking young. It's about staying free. Strong legs let you say yes to family, to joy, to life itself. Let's help you keep saying yes. Just so you know, everything in this video is carefully researched and put together by real people, double-checked by actual experts, and kept bias-free. A. Science-backed vitamins that helps prevent leg cramps. 1. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is absolutely essential for muscle function. Vitamin D is critical for maintaining proper calcium levels in the body. It helps boost calcium uptake in the gut and into muscle fibers, as well as keeping the right balance of calcium in your blood. And calcium, in case you forgot, is the spark that triggers every single muscle contraction in your body. No calcium in the muscle, no movement. When you don't have enough vitamin D, your muscles can't handle calcium properly. That can slow down how fast your muscles relax after contracting, making movement feel stiff or sluggish. And no controlled relaxation is one of the reasons cramps happen in the first place. Vitamin D doesn't just help absorb calcium. It's also essential for muscle fiber development through gene expression. Vitamin D also regulates neuromuscular coordination, meaning it helps your nerves send clean, fast, accurate signals to your muscles. When your body has enough, messages travel clearly. Your legs move smoothly. Your muscles react quickly. But when the body is low on vitamin D, that line starts to cut out. Muscle signals get delayed. Movements slow down. And cramps strike out of nowhere, often at night. Your legs might feel weak, heavier, tight, or twitchy, even if you're walking every day. And when a fall happens, it can be serious. Be careful if you also feel a deep, unexplained fatigue, achy muscles, sore joints, especially in your lower back. Now, what makes this tricky is that you can live a healthy life and still be deficient. A lot of older adults walk every day, but indoors or fully covered up or too early or too late in the day. Unless you're regularly exposing bare skin to direct sunlight for 15 to 30 minutes without sunscreen, you're likely not making enough. UVB rays are blocked by glass, clothes, and even time of day. And as we get older, our skin's ability to convert sunlight into usable D drops. In a 2020 study published in Nutrients, researchers found that our skin's ability to produce vitamin D3 drops by roughly 13% with every decade that passes. That's not your fault. That's biology. The solution? It's simple. You don't need a gym or a personal trainer. You just need 3 things: a little sunlight, the right food, and a small daily supplement. Vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, is the form your body absorbs best. It's recommended for adults over 65 to take 800 to 1,000 IU per day, with a meal that includes some healthy fat, like eggs or avocado. If you've already tested low, some doctors prescribe higher doses, but don't guess. Get your levels checked. You can also find vitamin D in fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, in fortified milk, egg yolks, and sun-exposed mushrooms. But it's not enough for most people. You'd need to eat almost a full fillet of salmon, about 120 grams, just to hit the daily target. A large egg yolk gives you 44 IU. You'd need over 20 of them to hit the minimum. That's why, in clinical practice, many adults over 50 are recommended to take a daily supplement. Now, here's something almost no one tells you. Taking vitamin D is only part of the equation. Your muscles actually need to be activated to respond to it. Regular exercise can help muscles respond better to vitamin D. Here's something you can try starting tomorrow. We call it the sunlight squat. Each morning, open a window or step outside. Do 5 to 10 slow chair squats with a sturdy chair, then take a 10-minute walk with your arms and legs uncovered. That combination, sunlight plus movement, tells your body, use this vitamin. Just be careful not to go overboard. Above 4,000 IU per day, vitamin D can start causing calcium buildup in the wrong places, like your kidneys and arteries. If it's worth doing right. If you have kidney or liver issues, talk to your doctor first. And remember, vitamin D needs fat to be absorbed properly, so don't take it on an empty stomach. One more thing, don't assume that walking means you're getting enough. If you're covered up, or walking indoors, or wearing sunscreen, you might still be low. Even in sunny places, vitamin D deficiency is incredibly common after age 60. 2. Vitamin B12. Biologically, B12 helps make myelin sheath, the protective covering around nerves that acts like insulation, allowing nerve signals to travel quickly. When B12 is abundant, messages from your brain reach your muscles quickly and accurately. You move with confidence. But when B12 is missing, that protective sheath starts to fray. Your nerves misfire, reactions slow. Legs hesitate, balance wobbles. It's not clumsiness. Your body just hasn't had the right tools, vitamin B12, to stay in sync. The second way B12 supports your legs? Oxygen. B12 plays a key role in red blood cell formation. Without it, your cells can't make enough red blood cells to carry oxygen. And when your muscles don't get oxygen, they fatigue quickly. You may walk up a few stairs and feel like you've climbed a mountain. If you've ever felt a strange tingling in your feet, a numbness that makes it hard to tell if your sock is on straight, or a sense of imbalance like the ground shifted just a little, you might be low on B12. But the symptoms don't stop at your legs. Fatigue that lingers no matter how early you go to bed. Memory lapses that feel sharper than they should. Feeling winded after light movement. A pale complexion or red tongue that's become your new normal. Even irritability or low moods that seem to creep in for no reason. These are all quiet signs your body's B12 tank is running low. And for many older adults, this happens far more often than we realize. So how much vitamin B12 do you actually need? For most adults over 50, the recommended intake is 2.4 micrograms per day. But as you age, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing it, especially if you've got lower stomach acid, or you're taking medications like acid-reducing or reflux medications, or diabetes drugs like metformin. That's why many doctors recommend 500 to 1,000 micrograms daily. This can be oral, sublingual, or in some cases an injection. You might wonder, why take a 500 microgram supplement when the recommended amount is 1,000 micrograms? Well, your body only absorbs about 2% from that 500 micrograms dose, and just 1.3% from the full 1,000. And for people with serious absorption issues, B12 injections are sometimes prescribed. Now here's the part that surprises many. You can eat a perfectly balanced diet and still end up deficient. Yes, B12 is found in animal-based foods, but only in significant amounts in a few. Liver is the heavy hitter. Just 100 grams of beef liver gives you over 70 micrograms, or almost 3,000% of the recommended daily value. A serving of clams or oysters also offers significant amounts. But let's be honest, most people over 60 aren't exactly cooking up a plate of clams for lunch or liver for dinner. A single egg only gives you about 0.5 micrograms. A cup of milk? Roughly 1.3, about 50% of the daily value. And if you follow a strict plant-based or vegan diet, it's even trickier. Your heart might be happy, but your nerves are probably hungry. B12 doesn't live in broccoli, and tofu can't make it up. Without fortified foods or supplements, deficiency is almost guaranteed over time. And note that supplementation is important, but just like with vitamin D, your body needs a reason to use what you give it. Here's a simple daily habit that helps. Each morning, after you've taken your B12, do a knee lift tap. Stand near a chair or countertop and gently lift one knee at a time to touch your palm. 10 reps each side. This small movement activates proprioception, the sense of where your limbs are in space. Every time you do this move, you're waking up the nerves and muscles that B12 supports. And it's low impact, something you can do while waiting for your tea to steep. B12 is water-soluble, which means extra amounts are flushed out. High doses are generally safe, but unnecessary megadoses won't make you stronger. And if you have a history of kidney disease or blood disorders, always check with your doctor first. Now that we've covered vitamin D and B12, which have clinical evidence linking them to leg cramp prevention, let's explore 2 additional vitamins that also support leg health and may potentially help prevent leg cramps. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this. B. Supportive vitamins for stronger legs. 3. Vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 tends to work behind the scenes, supporting more than 140 enzyme processes in your body. And when it's missing, it shows up in places people rarely suspect. It's important to note that current clinical studies have not found direct evidence linking B6 supplementation with preventing or reducing leg cramps specifically. However, it's worth understanding B6's potential benefits alongside their limitations, as they remain important for your leg health, which can support preventing leg cramps through their effects on nerves. Simply put, vitamin B6 is essential for producing neurotransmitters, the brain chemicals that send signals through your nervous system. Think of them like the Wi-Fi for your brain-to-leg connection. When B6 is low, the signal weakens. But that's not the only system that takes a hit. B6 also helps build hemoglobin, the part of red blood cells that delivers oxygen. So when you don't have enough B6, your oxygen supply drops. And when muscles don't get oxygen, they complain fast. You may go to grab groceries from the car, and your thighs feel like you just hiked uphill. You climb one flight of stairs, and your legs burn like they ran a sprint. Not because you're out of shape, but because your muscles are running on empty. Note that people low in B6 also often feel irritable and forgetful. One starts misplacing words, not just keys. Brain fog creeps in. Sleep gets patchy. Sometimes one may notice cracked lips, mouth and tongue sores, or skin issues. So how do you get enough of this vitamin? The recommended daily intake for adults over 50 is about 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men. Sounds tiny, right? But the tricky part isn't how much you need. It's how easily your body can miss it. Again, as you age, even if you eat the right foods, your absorption can go down. Certain medications like hydralazine for blood pressure or isoniazid for infections also interfere with how your body processes B6. That's why many older adults benefit from a small daily supplement, usually 6 to 10 milligrams. Just don't wash it down with alcohol. It'll compete with B6 for absorption. Also, try to limit foods and drinks higher in sugars, saturated fat, and sodium. What about food sources? Well, one small salmon fillet, around 3 ounces, gives you about 0.6 milligrams of vitamin B6. That's roughly 35% of your daily needs. If you're into beef liver or tuna, the same amount can get you up to 53% of your daily value, or DV for short. A cup of cooked chickpeas offers 1.1 milligrams, which means 65% of your DV. One medium banana or 1 cup of boiled potatoes has 0.4 milligrams. Add in chicken breast, turkey, or fortified cereals, and you've got many options. It's better taken with a meal that includes protein, like a boiled egg or oatmeal. The more protein you have, the more vitamin B6 your body absorbs to process it properly. If you're skipping meals, eating lighter, or relying more on toast than protein these days, you might not be hitting the mark. One common myth? That if some is good, more must be better. Not with B6. Taking high doses, especially over 100 milligrams a day, over long periods can actually cause nerve damage, resulting in difficulty coordinating movement, numbness, and sensory changes. That's right. Too much of the vitamin that supports your nerves can end up hurting them. So unless your doctor says otherwise, stay within the safe range. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. 4. Vitamin E. Sometimes, the leg cramps start with how well your nerves and circulation are being supported throughout the day. And that's where vitamin E comes in. In 1969, a study published in California Medicine looked at using vitamin E to treat certain mysterious skin conditions. While doing this, doctors noticed something surprising. Vitamin E also helped patients who had frequent and painful leg cramps at night. Almost all of these patients felt quick and noticeable relief after taking vitamin E. But it's important to note that although this study suggested benefits for leg cramps, more recent systematic reviews have not confirmed a direct correlation between vitamin E supplementation and leg cramp prevention. Nevertheless, understanding vitamin E still plays a potential supportive role in overall leg health. Vitamin E is working hard, acting as one of your body's strongest fat-soluble antioxidants. It protects your cells from oxidative stress, including the fragile nerves and muscles in your legs. Oxidative stress is like rust, slowly wearing away the smooth flow of communication between your brain and your limbs. When vitamin E levels drop, nerves become more vulnerable, including those that send signals between the brain and the legs. Think of vitamin E as your blood vessel's personal spa treatment. It keeps things smooth on the inside, so blood cells don't clump up and block the flow. It also helps relax those vessels, making sure your legs get the oxygen they need to move and stretch. So how much vitamin E do you actually need? For most adults over 50, the recommended intake is about 15 milligrams per day, or 22.4 IU. It doesn't sound like much until you realize how easily it can fall through the cracks. And it doesn't take a bad diet to get here. Just age, less fat in your meals, or certain health conditions can quietly strip your vitamin E reserves, long before you realize your legs are asking for help. You need 15 milligrams a day, and an ounce of sunflower oil gives you about 7.4 milligrams. A handful of almonds, just an ounce, adds another 6.8 milligrams. A cup of spinach clocks in at around 2 milligrams. Put those together and you're golden. Or else, take a single tablespoon of wheat germs oil. It contains 20.3 milligrams of vitamin E, which is about 135% of your DV. But here's the catch. If you've cut down on oils, nuts, or fatty foods, maybe to manage cholesterol, or just because grease feels heavy lately, you might be cutting out your vitamin E too. It's ironic, really. In trying to be healthy, we sometimes end up starving the very systems we're trying to protect. That's why many people over 50 choose supplementation. The best form is natural D-alpha tocopherol, typically 100 to 200 IU per day, but always taken with a meal that includes some healthy fat, like eggs, nuts, or olive oil. Without fat, your body can't absorb it properly. And don't go overboard. More than 1,000 IU daily could thin your blood or cause dizziness, especially if you're already taking anticoagulants. So yes, vitamin E is powerful. But like most good things after 50, more isn't always better. Grocery guide. Simple meals to nourish your legs. You don't need a 3-page shopping list to support your legs. Just a few smart staples can keep your muscles fueled, your nerves firing, and those cramps at bay. If you want the full grocery list, With all the foods matched to each vitamin, we've packed it neatly into a downloadable PDF. You'll find it linked in the description box. But for now, just remember, your grocery cart doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be thoughtful. Cold-pressed oils like extra virgin sunflower or olive oil, they're not just trendy, they help keep vitamin E intact. When you pick fish, frozen wild salmon often holds onto its vitamin D better than farmed, fresh fish sitting on ice all week. If you eat eggs, go for the ones with deep orange yolks that might contain more antioxidants. If you're plant-based, opt for milk and cereals that are fortified. Oat milk with added B12. Cereal boxes that sneak in a little B6. You're not just filling a bowl, you're fueling your nervous system. And here's something worth asking your local grocer. Do they stock UV-treated mushrooms? They look like any other mushrooms, but they've been exposed to sunlight during processing, making them one of the few plant-based sources of natural vitamin D. Toss them into a stir-fry, and you've just upgraded dinner without even trying. Now, once you bring these home, storage matters. Vitamins aren't invincible. They fade with time, heat, light, and air. So jot down this little habit. Write the open date right on your bottles of milk or oil. After a couple weeks, their nutrients can start breaking down, especially vitamin E. And with oil? Store it in a cool, dark place. A glass cabinet near the stove might look nice, but it's quietly ruining your antioxidants. Batch prep if you can. Boil half a dozen eggs on Sunday. Keep a container of cooked chickpeas in the fridge. Slice and freeze your avocado before it goes mushy. Even just labeling and stacking your salmon portions in the freezer makes weekday dinners a breeze. You're not just saving time, you're preserving the very nutrients your legs rely on. And one last thought. Shopping isn't just about what you buy, it's what you skip. When we cut out all fats, fearing cholesterol or weight gain, we often lose the very carriers our vitamins need. Vitamins like D and E? They need fat to be absorbed. You need about 3 grams of fat to absorb vitamin E well. So don't fear the yolk, don't fear the avocado. Just use them wisely, with intention, with balance. Conclusion. Let's be honest. When your legs don't feel right, your whole day feels off. It's not just about walking far, it's about walking sure, standing up without bracing yourself, reaching for your shoes without wincing, sleeping through the night without a painful jolt in your calf. If you've been blaming the mirror, your age, or that old knee injury, maybe it's time to look deeper. Because sometimes it's not aging, it's a vitamin your legs are missing. And our suggested 4 vitamins, D, B12, B6, and E, they're not magic pills. But they are the raw materials your body has been quietly asking for. They help your nerves speak clearly, your muscles move smoothly, and your confidence returns, not just physically, but emotionally too. And here's the part most people forget. You don't have to fix everything overnight. You don't need extreme diets, expensive tests, or hours at the gym. You just need a little knowledge, a few food swaps, a few mindful moments each day. You just have to begin. Start with one change. A walk in the sunlight, a smarter breakfast, a supplement that actually matches your needs. One step, then another. And with time, your body remembers how to trust itself again. That's not just good health, that's independence. And at any age, that's worth everything. If you've been watching, subscribing, or quietly sharing these videos with someone who needs them, thank you, truly. We don't take that for granted. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it's okay. We're still glad you're here. But if you'd like to stay in the loop, just tap the bell. It helps make sure you won't miss something important, like a tip that strengthens your legs, eases your sleep, or helps a parent move without pain.